This morning I'm going to show you how to make my cacao latte, one of my favorites. Even when I travel, I bring this with me. I love my cacao, I love my cashew milk. This is not so easy to find when you're traveling, but if you're home, you can make it. It's so easy. It's only 3 ingredients: water, cashews, and dates. That's it. I like to use dates because it's a natural sweetener and they're delicious. So here we go. Water's there. Cashews I already soaked. The reason I soaked my cashews is because that makes them easier to digest. It sprouts them. And you can do it for 3 hours-ish. I just soak them overnight, rinse them in the morning. Easy. I'm also gonna add cinnamon and nutmeg. You don't have to do this, but you can. Cinnamon is good for balancing your blood sugar, and nutmeg is great for tons of things, I'm sure. A little goes a long way with the nutmeg, so bear that in mind. That's it. I'm gonna let this blend for a solid 2 minutes because with the Vitamix, it'll get creamy smooth. There's no grittiness like there would be with almond milk. So here we go. It's gonna get loud. Okay, I'm at my girlfriend's kitchen and she does not have a tea kettle, so I'm going to use this boiling water for my latte. This kitchen is goals, isn't it? Okay, I'm doing mostly boiling water. So it's not, for me, exactly a 50-50 ratio. It's mostly boiling water and then the rest cashew milk. I'm gonna do cacao. It doesn't matter how much. It depends on how chocolatey you want it. Now, cacao is on the bitter side, so you're gonna want those dates in the cashew milk to sweeten it. You may even wanna add some maple, which I do. That's it. I know you've seen me make this 1,000 times, but it doesn't get old. It's just the best. Gorgeous. And it's all frothy on top. A little splash of maple, and we are in business. That's it. I love to do this instead of coffee because coffee can actually zap your adrenals and it's dehydrating. So this is a nice substitute. Enjoy. For my power shake, I normally just have this with water. I love it, but sometimes I'll switch it up. And that's what I'm gonna do this morning. So I'm gonna do 2 scoops of my shake with my agua. Sometimes I add frozen strawberries, sometimes I add frozen blueberries, frozen banana. I switch it up. We're doing mango this time. Whoa. I'm gonna do a little bit of ionic elements. This is great at replacing your minerals. We burn through our minerals, especially when we're stressed out. So this is great adrenal support. And a couple drops of fulvic zeolite. You don't need to do this, I'm just showing you what I do. This is great at binding with heavy metals and pulling them out of your body. It's a natural chelator. So I'm gonna blend this up and drink it up. There we go. One for my camera babe, such a slob, and one for my girlfriend who owns this kitchen. We are going to make scrambled eggs. We're gonna make it with organic sprouted tofu. Now, remember back in the day, if you used to eat eggs, you would add peppers and mushrooms and tomatoes and onions and all the good stuff. You can still do that and you don't miss out. And if you want to know why it's best to avoid eggs, go to my gastrointestinal doctor friend, Angie. She's a love. Dr. Angie Sadeghi, and she will explain why eggs are so detrimental to our health, and also my health guru, Amber Bodily Health. She will explain what eggs do to your body and why it's just best to avoid them. I'm gonna throw these in the frying pan, saute them up, and then for our sprouted tofu, I'm gonna add salt, nutritional yeast, which will give it a cheesy flavor, a little cayenne, a little chili seasoning, paprika, cumin, switch it up. Whatever spices you wanna throw in there, it's all good. I'm gonna use the back of my knife so I don't dull the knife. You can throw onions in here, garlic, get creative. Saute this up. I'm gonna use a little avocado oil to avoid sticking. When you're cooking with oil, it's honestly best not to, but if you do, use an oil that has a higher heat point, because when you cook with olive oil, it becomes a carcinogen, which is no bueno. A little bit of this. Now for our eggs, our scrambled eggs. A little bit of salt. I like to avoid the white processed bleached salt and use either sea salt or Himalayan. A little cayenne. The spicier the better in my book. A little chili powder. And nutritional yeast. Not all nutritional yeast is created equal. I like Foods Alive because there's no MSG. And if you go on their website, they explain exactly how they make it. Okay, I already washed my hands, so I'm just gonna crumble this up. A little turmeric. This will stain your clothes, so be careful. Smelling good. This is all sauteed up and delicious. I'm gonna add the sprouted tofu now. You can throw some shredded cheese in here. You can have it with some toast and avocado. Doesn't look so good. A simple lunch would involve avocado toast. Probably the easiest lunch or snack you will ever make for yourself. We get a ripe avocado. I lightly toasted my Ezekiel bread. I like to choose organic sprouted if possible. A little trick of the trade. Give it a little slice-a-rooney. And you can switch this up with tomatoes on top, sprouts, radishes. Your options are truly limitless. Red onion. We're gonna do cucumbers and tomato. And of course, everything but the bagel seasoning. Some of this, some of that. All right, really easy. You're gonna make a mess of it anyways. It's delicious. Where's my everything but the bagel seasoning? Hold up, that's important. This not only makes everything look better, it just tastes delicious. And Trader Joe's has it, and Costco now has a version of it. We have our scrambled tofu eggs and a side of avocado toast. Delicious. For our lunch salad, we're gonna do a dressing with 2 ingredients, lemon and avocado. It's that easy. We're gonna use a base of arugula. That's my favorite. I'm going to dress it. Nope, first I'm gonna add in these guys. I have mushrooms, cucumbers, and tomatoes. Toss them on in. Oh yeah. A nice rainbow of variety. All right, I already washed my hands, so I'm simply gonna use my hands to massage it. A little lemon. And a little avocado. Does it get easier than that? No, it does not. Sometimes we load up our dressing, our salad I should say, with olive oil, and that is a lot of empty calories. At least, rather than avocado oil, we're using the whole avocado, which includes all the nutrients and the fiber. So yummy. Give it a little massage, and then pour it into this bowl here. What did that take? 5 seconds or less? No time. Some cucumbers, some extra tomatoes, and if you want to add more substance to this, you can do farro, rice, beans, lentils. You can switch it up. It's just an idea. Let me wash my hands. Okay. Washed hands. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Truly, this is so simple to do. It's so healthy for you. And if you're trying to get rid of bloating and that midsection squish, this will help move things along. It's very gentle and filling. You'll love it. For our Mexi dip, we're gonna make the secret sauce, the cheesy sauce. You can't really have Mexi dip without the cheesy sauce, just saying. So we have water as a base because there's no need for oil. We're gonna use cashews. I'm making a huge portion because I like having leftovers, and I'm gonna make mac and cheese later, so. We have our raw cashews that I soaked. It's ideal if you can soak them. If you can't, and you have the Vitamix, it'll still work. We're gonna do our lemon. Lots of garlic because we love it. Nutritional yeast. Some salt. We're going to do some healthy soy sauce. If you can get MSG free, that would be best. And that's really it. Blend it up, you're good to go. I'm gonna add some chili seasoning and some cayenne pepper for extra spice. Honestly, you can get creative here. If you wanna add some smoked paprika, some cumin, other spices, you totally can. If you wanna use almonds instead of cashews, you can also do that. Okay, I'm gonna blend this on up. Probably a solid 2 minutes because I really want it to be creamy smoothie. Creamy smooth. Cheesy sauce is officially done. Give it a little sniff test. So delicious. So the bottom of my Mexi dip, you can layer this however you want. There's no right or wrong. Let's just get that out of the way right now. I'm gonna do a layer of low sodium organic refried beans. Then I'm gonna do some black beans. I got organic ones from the can. If you can make them from scratch, you're just better at this. So I'm all about simplicity and fast and easy. Although if you have a pressure cooker or an Instapot, that works as well. Sometimes I do that. So I'm just squeezing these for my next layer. Okay. Spread it on out. I'm gonna do some salsa. No right or wrong, whatever your favorite flavor. All right. Then I'm gonna do some chopped, colorful bell peppers. If you wanna get pre-chopped organic ones from Trader's, you totally can. I just chopped these up real quick while the cheesy sauce was mixing. And then we're going to do our soy chorizo that I get from Trader Joe's. This is great for those who want a meaty texture. They actually want to feel like they're eating meat. Don't tell them. Just make this for them, put it out there, don't say a word, and they will gobble it up. I swear I make this for every barbecue I go to, every dinner party. I bring 2 trays and everyone loves it. This is my God-given spatula. All right, hand is clean. I got my cheesy sauce. I'm gonna give that a drizzle. And then I will put this in the oven, probably on like 400 until this starts bubbling and it smells the house full of cheesy goodness. And then once this is done, you can top it with olives, jalapenos, peppers, cilantro. There's so many options. You truly cannot go wrong. It's so good. All right, I'm gonna pop this in. This Mexi dip looks like a dream. What can you have Mexi dip with? Everything. If you want to put a scoop on your salad, you can do that. If you want to have it with chips, you can do that. I mean, you really can't go wrong. This is so delicious. Everyone's gonna love it. If you make this or any of the recipes that I showed you today, please tag me, Melissa_Hansen, and I'll repost it. I love seeing these recipes that you're making from scratch at home. It makes me so happy, and I love getting your feedback, so enjoy. For our mac and cheese, I chose a rice pasta, but you can use garbanzo pasta, lentil pasta. There's so many options. This one's from Trader Joe's. It says cook from 8 to 10 minutes or so. Cook it, I'd say 8 minutes, because if you overcook gluten-free pasta, it becomes mushy, and nobody likes mushy pasta. I have our cheesy sauce. Yeah. And the longer you let this sit, the macaroni sucks up the sauce. So that's why I always like to make extra. Your family will love this. It smells like a dream. And there it is. Like, does it get easier than that? No, this is so easy. Gluten-free, oil-free, dairy-free, not taste-free. It is delicious. I get a lot of requests for simple dinners. So we just made our mac and cheese. Here's another variety. You can do a pesto pasta, but you don't want just a carb-heavy dinner. Always have this with a side of roasted vegetables or a big salad. Okay, so we have our rice pasta. Again, same rules. You don't want to overcook it because gluten-free pasta will become mushy. For our pesto, we have a base of water. We're using cashews. We're going to use garlic. I didn't peel this garlic because it's organic, and with the Vitamix, it'll pulverize that. Lemon. All this fresh organic basil. Can you stand it? It smells so good. And a little salt, of course. Pesto traditionally calls for pine nuts, but pine nuts are pricey. So we're doing cashews, and it will be just as delicious. And nutritional yeast for that cheesy flavor. Again, traditionally it calls for Parmesan cheese, but we're not doing the dairy thing. Okay, I'm gonna blend this up, and this will be our pesto. Can you get over the simplicity of this? I'm telling you, eating this way is not complicated. And you see that I'm not measuring things, but I've been doing this for years. The more you make these dishes, you won't be stuck to an ingredient list anymore. Or a measurement list, I should say. It smells amazing. Now, can you get creative with this and add sauteed mushrooms and sun-dried tomatoes? Of course, switch it up. Your fam is gonna go nuts over this. And this makes, I was gonna say this makes good leftovers, but I think it's better fresh that night. There you go. That's yet another dinner for you. Really simple. This right here has to be the all-time easiest recipe for little energy balls or a crust for a raw dessert. Okay, it's pecans, it's dates, it's delicious. I mean, you'll see. We're gonna do pecans. We're gonna add a little pinch of salt. You do not need to add sweetener because dates are sweet enough. And honestly, the dates is kind of like the glue. That's what holds this together. Okay, so. If you don't have a Vitamix and you want one, I would recommend getting one refurbished. You go on Vitamix.com, click reconditioned, and it comes in perfect shape. Comes with a warranty. They are everything, and I like Series 5200 the best because this stomper goes down pretty darn far, where the newer ones don't come down far enough, I find. That's my little tip. And there you have it. It's that easy. You'll notice I didn't put it on the highest setting because I'm not trying to liquefy this or turn it into like a paste. I'm trying to turn it into almost like, I don't know, like a cookie dough consistency, if you will. I'm gonna dump this onto parchment paper, flatten it out, and then chop it into bars or like little squares. So simple. Whenever I make Snickers bars or cheesecake, this is generally my crust. If you want to roll these into little balls, you can. If you want to do exactly what I'm doing, it's the easiest and fastest. And then you can sprinkle some shredded coconut on it. or hemp seeds or chia seeds. You have lots of options. It's funny, when you go to Trader Joe's, you buy all these bars, right? Like these snack bars, but they're full of preservatives and they don't need to be. This is so simple. No GMO, it's all organic, no preservatives, no fillers, no fake sweeteners. It's just so darn good. And it's too easy not to make yourself at the end of the day. Once you see me do this, you see like, oh, she's right, it really is that easy. And if you don't have dates, use raisins, use dried cherries, dried cranberries. You have so many options. This is it. It's so simple. I'm gonna throw this in the freezer to let it set, and then I will chop it into little bites and enjoy. I got loads of requests when I asked what you want to see me make for simple dessert recipes. One of them being chocolate chip cookies, which I make these like once a week, they're so good. And another request was 2-ingredient dessert. We're gonna do our garbanzo bean cookies. They are delicious. I always start with dry ingredients first, and then I mix the wet ingredients, okay? So we're gonna do oats. Always choose organic because oats are sadly loaded with glyphosate, which is bad news. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit of salt, a little nutmeg and cinnamon. Those are just optional, you don't have to do them. I'm gonna mix these up. Voila, we have oat flour, just like that. Now we will do our wet ingredients. We have garbanzo beans. You can buy these from the can, strain out the water, and there you go. Or you can make them from scratch, your call. We're gonna do a little maple. Glug, 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 glug. We will do peanut butter. If you prefer almond butter or sunflower seed butter, totally your call. And then lastly, we're gonna do vanilla extract, which I have to find. That didn't take long. Here's the vanilla extract. A little goes a long way with this stuff. So we have our dry ingredients. Now we are mixing in the wet ingredients. This dough is so delicious. If you want to add more maple and more peanut butter, totally your call. Again, you cannot mess these up. I'm gonna mix these up. Once this is mixed up, I'm going to add chocolate chips, dried cherries, and pecans. That's my jam these days. If you want to switch it up with dried cranberries, chopped dates, whatever you want, get creative. Chocolate chips. More, more, more. Okay, let's be real. I'm gonna wash my hands and mix this with my hands because it's way faster. I'm using parchment paper. I've made the transition over to parchment paper rather than tin foil because aluminum is just something you really don't want in your body. So I'm gonna mix these up with my hands. This is a labor of love right here. Cookies are done. These are not so flat, so I'm just gonna use this guy, flatten them out. My mom always flattens them out before she cooks them, but it doesn't really matter. Your call. These are so, so delicious. I always pack a bunch of these before I fly because they don't really have great snacks on the plane. And these are just so filling and satiating, and you'll love them, so. That's it, enjoy. When you make these, tag me, don't forget. Thank you for joining us. I hope that you had fun. These are some of my favorite recipes. I switch them up. Sometimes I use more of this, a little less of that, whatever. But my goal here is to just show you how really simple it is to make food from scratch. It's just about using real ingredients, making it with love, and having fun.